Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Here we go. Go to base. Fellas, let's set a tone. Shit.
They run for the first time with Justice Hill. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive...
And right away, he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning... it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry, and now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Back to throw, Darnold. And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown.
Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Tyler Eifert, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Meanwhile, here, a run on first down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage.
43. Check, 43.
On 2nd and 15 now. Jackson got a man. It's Brown. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You're going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
First down, Cincinnati.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. And that's complete. It's Green here. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Give him 30 yards there.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that, guys. They're fired out. That's a big game. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Get up! Get up!
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
Mike 51. Here we go, D. Check 50. Check 50.
Darnold a sneak. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd.
Check Mike 21. Mike 21. Check Mike 21. Come on, D.
Jackson from the shotgun. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Zerline good with a PAT. And that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This will be taken very short. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively. Nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On second down, it's Hill. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. Minus 9 yards on the play, and now it's third down. There's Jackson on third and long. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, 84 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And it's 17-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. Space to maneuver at the 40. 34 yards there and a first down.
It's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential, but I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back, but now I've got a full package, a guy who can do everything, as we just saw there, including breaking tackles.
But at the time, 2nd-round pick in 2013, some people probably wishing they'd taken him in the first. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Darnold. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 16.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Get ready. He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
You got nothing. No, lady. Hey, Echo. It's our time, guys. It's our time. Go, Mike with you on. Mike with you on.
On 2nd and 12, Darnold stepping up. He's going to keep it. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me.
Now it's Darnold. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Le'Veon Bell. His 5th touchdown now on the year. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This will be taken short. And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
58, boy, 58, Mike.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. Jordan Lewis right there on the coverage.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
3rd and goal, Jackson. Got a man, it's caught. For a Ravens touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens get a bit closer. Tucker with the extra point. And that makes it 24-13.
His kick is good. Makes the score Bengals 24, Ravens 14.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A.J. Green, his second touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This will be taken very short. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
I got it.
Throwing is Jackson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and now it's 2nd down. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the 1st half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you...
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. And the pressure gets to him again. Geno Atkins. That is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
You got tight right there. Off. 57's Mike 57.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. A desperation heave for the end zone. And that is going to be incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there for Cincinnati. 43 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
Flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Darnold now to throw. He'll let this go. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
No chance. Slam, slam, slam.
They start the drive on the ground with Hill. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash. Back, back, back. Right.
Again, they run with Hill. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Crowder now to return. The Bengals drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Strip that ball.
To throw is Darnold. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick 6s.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Oh, I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think, at any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards there and a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Darnold now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Bell stopped up behind the line as he's going to wind up losing a couple here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
On 2nd and 12, Darnold, he's got Green. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 41-yard line. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. The shotgun snap for Darnold. He'll let this go end zone for Green. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, 41 yards. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. Zerline now for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They'll try to get the offense going with Hill. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Watch tight. Tight end's right.
On 2nd and 15 now. Jackson dancing to his left. And, boy, that one drops incomplete. But if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Oh, yeah.
It's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Check Mike 21.
From the gun, Jackson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Jordan Lewis right there on the coverage.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now it's Crowder. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open?
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sam Hubbard, his 2nd sack of the night.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Check 1-3. Switch.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. Go to bed. 3 butt. Wahoo! Hey, check Mike 21. Check Mike 21.
Jackson on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
We're going to sign. 51 the mic. Danny.
A first down throw, Darnold. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Bell. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And able to find Green. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 19. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Let's go one more.
Darnold from the red zone now, eluding the pressure right. This is caught, and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. From 19 yards away. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I got you. Under 10, under 10, 10. Watch the safety.
First down, and it's Hill again. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
37-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
43. Silver.
Now a 10th carry for Hill. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On 3rd down, Jackson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. This will be fielded at the 17. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a game.
Ingram again. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cincinnati, it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games.